Open the Landscape tutorial drawing and click the Landscape tab to display everything drawn on that tab. Select the Split View viewing option. Before adding plants, we need to add a planting bed up by the door and along the wall. In the 2D window, zoom into the front door area so that you can work more easily. In the 3D view, using the Walkthrough tool, move closer to the front walkway. From the Landscape tools, click the Ground Fill Region tool. From the Properties tab, click a drawing method to best define the shape of the ground fill region, closed polygon in this case. Using the left mouse button, click to set points and define the perimeter shape of the planting bed. Click the first point again, or right-click to complete the shape, and the bed is placed. Adjust the shape of the planting bed by selecting individual points or edges and dragging it with the left mouse button pressed, or using the arrow keys to nudge those points or edges in one direction or another. The next step after the bed is placed is to add plants. Click the Content tab seen to the right of the Properties tab. From the first drop-down, you'll see a variety of different content categories. Click Plants from the list. From the next drop-down, click Ornamental Grass. Select Blue Rush Grass. Click the left side of the Grow slider. When we place these plants, they will look smaller, more like what you'd purchase at a garden center. Drag the plant into position and release the mouse button to place. Once placed, you can select it, nudge it, or drag it to reposition it. You can place a row of the selected plant. While the plant is selected, click the Visual Array tool. Click Center to Center and set that for 3 feet and press Enter. Click the first point, drag the cursor down, and click again to place all of the plants with spacing as shown in the Properties tab. You can move the group of plants, or when deselected, move any of them individually. Now, let's go back to the ornamental grasses. We'll add a little bit of color. Find the dwarf purple fountain grass and add these between the other plants. And we'll add a few into the 3D view and then adjust them in 2D. Take a moment and change your view so that you can see the plants that we have just placed in this bed. In some cases, your planting will be out in the middle of the yard, not up against the house. There are other creative ways to create your plant or beds. Set your view in 2D and 3D to look over toward the open area on the west side of the yard. You can use the wheel on your mouse to zoom in and out, and drag the viewpoint arrow to point the 3D view. Now, to create the curved shape of our bed, click the Ground Fill Region tool. From the Properties tab, click the Draw Methods drop-down and choose the Curved Polygon option. In the 2D view, click Points to define the curved shape of the planting bed. Remember, the points are still available to edit the shape even once you've converted to a ground fill region. Right-click it, choose Create Edging Border, deselect it, and reselect the edging. We'll use the Select in 3D tool. Choose the second edging style and click the Flip Face option. Click the Select tool in 3D and click the mulch bed to select it. Type in 3 inches for object elevation. It will prompt you to apply it to everything selected. Just click Yes. The next step will be to add plant material to our new bed. So, to our plant library, there are many ways to select plants to place. Click the drop-down and click again to access the plant filter. Choose the Plant Finder. The Plant Finder allows you to select the criteria to select your plants by the hardiness zone, sunlight requirements, even water requirements. Choose the Trees See library. As you move the cursor over plant thumbnails, watch the status bar in the lower left for plant names. Names will appear as pop-up tooltips as well. Scroll down until you see the Norway maple. Drag and drop the plant into the mulch bed. Select the tree. Go to the Properties tab, and where you see Age Planted, set it to 3 to adjust the size of the plant when it was planted. Next, let's go to our Furnishings and the Exterior library. From the Water Feature library, we'll find this bird bath and place it in the 3D view at the other end of the planting bed. We'll need to elevate it up flush with the top of the mulch. Select it. Under Object Elevation, click Ground Fill and set the elevation height to the top surface of the ground fill. From the drop-down, you will see the option to search for plants by name. Enter Hosta, which are great shade plants. All of the hostas will be shown, regardless of which library they are in. Place some hostas around the bed, under the tree, and also around the bird bath. Now that we have a variety of hostas, it's difficult to tell them apart in the 2D view. You can select a plant and change its symbol by choosing how you want it to appear. A variety of plant symbols are available on the Properties tab when a plant is selected. These plant symbols let you customize the look of the plants in 2D, making it easier to identify and distinguish them. Hold the Shift key as you select a group of plants, and then choose the symbol you want, and it changes all of the selected plants. And you can do this for as many of the plants in your drawing as you'd like. Notice this does not affect the plants in 3D. The plant symbols are just a 2D representation. You can even create a custom symbol to use by drawing one using the 2D shapes. Open up a blank drawing file and create the shape you want to use as a plant symbol. We'll draw a simple one here. You can make your symbol as basic or as detailed as you'd like. However, edits to the line style, fills, and line weight are not saved with the symbol. Once the shape is ready, select it by dragging around and then go to our Plants library. At the bottom of the Categories drop-down menu, click the gear and choose Create Plant Symbol. This will save the symbol to the Plant Symbols user library. If you haven't created a user library category yet, you can do that now by clicking New. Add a name and a description if you'd like. This saves the shape to the Plant Symbols user library, so you can use it in your designs. And now, back in the landscape design, you can select a plant and apply this custom symbol to the plant. So we'll select a plant, navigate to the Plant Symbols user library, and select the symbol we just created. The plants are updated in 2D, and still, this has no effect on the 3D view. Now zoom out. Go to the Animated Fly-Around view and set your view in 3D looking at the front of the house. Click the Landscape tab, click the Grow button to grow your landscape over time to see how it will look as it ages. Notice that the tree continues to grow. The hostas have already grown as much as they're going to, so they don't continue to grow. Choose the full 3D mode so that you can see the entire plan. Set the view one more time to Full Screen 3D. From the 3D menu, choose Render Final Quality to get a view of the landscaping that we've just placed with shadows from the sunlight as well. You can adjust the sun direction manually, or from your lighting settings, set the global sun position by location.